What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast coming at you live. We're gonna have a little bit of fun today, even though we talk about all these serious events. But here we see that there's 1,400 tons of toxic methanol that has become submerged in the Ohio River. And there are a lot of disaster teams that are on the scene right now as we report to you live. I mean, I gotta say, you look at these things and you're like, man, this is happening way too often for this to be just a coincidence. There is absolutely 100% no way that we have all these train derailments happening across the country and releasing toxic chemicals into the water supply. Now, you tell me if you think that's a coincidence. Let me hear in the comments section what you guys think, because I'm just about sick and tired of seeing these videos of all these train derailments and all these toxic chemicals being put into the water. And it's a greater agenda, folks. Greater agenda at hand to control the populace. And you got people over there dilly-dallying on their TikTok, on their phone, and not even and they're distracted. You gotta use technology for the better, to be able to inform yourself, educate yourself. It could be the greatest tool, or it could be the greatest detriment. Here's another angle of that view so you guys can see it. I mean, you can just tell that's a pretty bad situation they got going there. But anyhow, listen to this. Central banks will lose control if they don't use a CBDC, says Christine Lagarde from the ECB, the president. And listen to what she has to say.
Where do we stand? We central bankers, we have been operating as a monetary anchor in relation to the commercial banks and the private money. If we are not in that game, if we are not involved in experimenting, in innovating in terms of digital central bank money, we risk losing the role of anchor that we have played for many decades. And we have historical examples of period where the central bank monetary anchor was not there, and that precipitated crisis after crisis. That certainly was the case at the time of the free banking in the 19th century. Do we want to go back to those days?
Absolutely.
Probably not. I would say certainly not from our
Let's go back to bartering.
As a result of which we
Right?
have to respond to the demand for those digital payments in order to maintain the role of anchor that we have been playing regularly.
And I was just being sarcastic there. But folks, central banking has been like a noose tied around people's necks. And when you understand that it's enslavement where your kids, your grandkids' kids, everyone, it's a debt system, a perpetual debt system that requires that labor or that work or those people in order to fuel the system. And so this has put a weight on humanity. And they're saying we don't want to lose control, else we'll go back to those time periods in the 19th century. How did those people survive in the 19th century? Who knows? Here is John Kerry defending the global elites and flying in their private jets to fight climate change in Davos. But they're able to do that because they can offset, buy offsets because they're rich enough. And it's okay to do it because they're doing a good duty. They're working harder than most people to try to, kind of mitigate these climate change emissions by the world.
Private aviation is an example of something where people are starting to pay more attention. And but when people who go to Davos to talk about climate change fly private, it seems like they don't want to make.
Well, they actually, I've talked to them about it. They offset They
Yeah.
buy offsets, they offset, and they are working harder than most people I know to be able to try to effect this transition.
Right.
Yep. I mean, there you have it. That's all you need to hear. Here's another train derailment that happened in North Dakota that spilled some hazardous materials. Like I said, at what point do you consider that, or consider all this, a coincidence, right? And I heard this very interesting theory where, all those, blue collar workers, all those folks that would be in this industry, have been retiring, have been leaving, and the next generation, they've been coming up on, technology, not being involved in these hard, working type jobs, and they're not trained adequately to keep the system afloat and up and running. And so could it be that is the resulting effects of the workforce, and it has led to this? Or is it all part of, global agenda? Very interesting things to consider. So here, I thought this would be a cool video, just showing you the avalanche near Sundance Resort in Utah. This is kind of crazy. Big cloud of snow. Really cool. Really awesome. Could be dangerous, but nevertheless cool. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like and subscribe to the channel. It's the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.